Whether you're planning on taking your first ever Disney World vacation, you're planning on staying in a Disney World hotel for the first time, or you're just wanting a closer look into what we consider to be the best hotels for new Disney guests, then you come to the right place, y'all. And just to sweeten the deal, we'll also hook you up with some of the best Disney Resort tips that you need to know before you go. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and I am so excited for you. Your first trip to Disney World. That is so cool. Or, your first time staying in a Disney World hotel. Even cooler, because I know I've been there. You kind of keep your eye on that dream hotel, and you're like, someday I'm going to stay there. And this is maybe your time. So go ahead and stick around, even if you've been to every hotel, and we can explore these resorts together. And then you can tell me what I'm wrong about in the comments. We welcome you saying, hey, AJ's wrong. You should do this instead. You should stay here instead. We love making sure that everybody who views these videos has all of the information they possibly can to learn from before they make decisions. And so please let us know. Be kind about it, but let us know in the comments what your favorites are. Anyway, today we are exploring the top Disney hotels that we think are the best for brand new Disney World guests due to their theming, their convenience, their recent renovations, or maybe even a mixture of all of the above. We've got the best of the best here. But along the way, we'll also be feeding you some of our favorite newcomer tips that we personally believe everyone should know about before they stay at any of these hotels. Number 1 on our list, art of animation. In a day and age where so many Disney World resorts are receiving a modernized glam up, if you will, it's nice to know there's still a Disney World resort that completely embraces over-the-top Disney characters and colors and keeps hold of the quintessential Disney experience without you needing to break the bank to receive it. And that resort is Art of Animation. Art of Animation is a value resort that represents the art and theming of 4 fan favorite Disney and Pixar films: Little Mermaid, Cars, Finding Nemo, and The Lion King. This is a nice mixture of stories that both kids and adults can recognize. Because this is a value hotel, the rooms here are typically cheaper than what you'll find at most other Disney hotels. However, because of all that character-driven theming, as well as the immersive family suites, Art of Animation is going to be your priciest option when it comes to value resorts. Those are the least expensive resorts. Staying in suites themed around The Lion King, Finding Nemo, and Cars will more than likely put you back $500 to $700 per night if you don't have a discount. But when you consider the fact that many of the deluxe Disney hotels have standard rooms that start at that price range, the family suite price becomes more worth it. Those full theme suites at Art of Animation include a separate bedroom and living space, 2 bathrooms, and a kitchenette area, all while sleeping up to 6 guests. So it's perfect for people who kind of need 2 rooms but don't want to worry that they're not going to get connecting rooms. You know what I mean? This is just everything in a big old family suite. Plus, I love that the master bedroom has a door that closes. You have your own bathroom in there, so you can just shut the kids out if you need to. But I'm not going to downplay the price tag. $500 and higher per night is still a very pretty penny and can feel a bit paralyzing when you hear it at first. But don't panic just yet. Like I said earlier, this is the most expensive value rooms get. If you're wanting to stay at Art of Animation during your first time visit, but you don't want to drop all that money just for the character-driven atmosphere, you can always choose to book one of the Little Mermaid standard rooms instead, which will cost you hundreds of dollars less, like around $250 to $300 per night, and you just won't be getting that extra bedroom and bathroom space. And these rooms can only sleep up to 4 guests, which might be just the right amount for your family. The downside is the Little Mermaid building is really far away from everything, besides a parking lot and the Flip and Fins pool. So each time you need to make it over to the lobby or the bus stop or the Skyliner or the food court, etc., you're gonna have quite the walk to endure. And that's not always fun if your feet are already worn out after those 20,000 plus step park days. Along with all the color and characters here, Art of Animation also has the convenience of the Disney Skyliner right there in your backyard. The Skyliner is a sky gondola system that boards you in a little cabin and carries you on over to select other Disney resorts, as well as 2 out of the 4 Disney World parks, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. Much like all the other Disney resorts that we'll be discussing today, Art of Animation also has buses that'll take you over to the other 2 parks, Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, as well as Disney Springs. But the only time you'll really find buses for Epcot and Hollywood Studios over here is if for some reason the Skyliner isn't available, like if it has to shut down for bad weather or if it's undergoing routine maintenance, or maybe if it's just really, really crowded, then they might bring a couple buses around. Now, when it comes to food, AOA only has one food court style option called Landscape of Flavors. And while you're not going to get the best quality food here, I mean, it's good, it's fine. That's what I would say. I'm not going to say it's not good quality. I'm going to say it's fine. There are a lot of options to choose from that cater to a lot of palates. Plus, let's not forget you can jump on the Skyliner and get over to Epcot Hollywood Studios and the boardwalk real fast, and there's lots to eat in all of those places. Plus, you could go to any one of the other Skyliner hotels, which I'm sure we'll get to soon. Okay, let's talk about the Art of Animation pools, because sometimes those are the most important parts of the hotels, right? Right, they are for me. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, where, you don't ever get in a pool unless you're super rich and you like have it at your house, or you go on vacation, right? Right. Okay. So if epic pools are a big hotel selling point for your family, then this is a really great choice for the pool fans. Along with the Art of Animation's feature pool, called the Big Blue Pool, which just so happens to be the biggest pool on Disney World property, this hotel also has two other pools that still stay true to the resort's character theming. This includes the Little Mermaid-themed Flippin' Fins pool, which I'm going to be honest, Ursula might scare all the children and you, and the Cars-themed Cozy Cone pool, which is V-cool because it has little Cozy Cone cabanas that are first come, first served. You actually don't have to book those, but I think there's only 4 or 5 of them, maybe fewer. Okay. All in all, AOA is one of our very favorite Disney hotel choices for newcomers. Probably our favorite, I'm not gonna lie. It's got a little bit of everything to create the quintessential Disney World experience, and it might not be the right fit for couples looking for a more romantic getaway necessarily, but it is great for families, especially families who want to watch their kids' faces light up every time they enter their hotel room or walk around their hotel grounds, because there is so much to love and just find true magic in at this resort. I love it. Ready for our first newcomer tip? All right, here's number 1. Pick up our free hotel guide. While we're only covering the top 10 best hotels for the first time Disney guests today, there are so many other hotels that you can potentially stay at around property. And even if you're a Disney guest, and even if we think these are the top 10 hotels, you might love another one so much more. It's different for everybody. And it's a lot of research to go through all those hotels, but don't worry. We've already done the research for you. We've stayed at all of them, and you don't have to worry about it. Scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or if you're watching from your phone, head to disneyfoodblog.com/hotels, and we'll send you a free guide that talks about every Disney hotel you could potentially stay in, along with price ranges and pictures and the biggest pros and cons, and of course, a lot more. All right, number 2 on our list, Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter, or Riverside. You might think shoving 2 moderate hotels into one point is cheating, but the 2 Port Orleans hotels go together like peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump would say. Port Orleans French Quarter and Port Orleans Riverside have a lot in common. They're right next to each other. They're both themed around the great state of Louisiana, more specifically the New Orleans part. They both serve up Cajun and Southern specialties on their restaurant and lounge menus with some of the best jambalaya. I love it. And they both have riverboat access that takes you over to Disney Springs Shopping District, meaning you're never too far away from hundreds of restaurants and stores and unique activities. So if these hotels are such twins, what makes them different? Is there really a big difference between booking one or the other? Well, yeah, there is. There are some significant differences. First off, the French Quarter Resort is smaller and easier to get around, which can be a great selling point for first-time guests who are nervous about getting lost and having trouble finding their room again. Like, I just got lost staying at Riverside a couple of months ago and really wandered around for probably an hour trying to find out where I was going. Now, let me defend myself and say it was dark out, and so I was having a really hard time figuring out how to get back to my room because it all looks the same. But in fact, lots of people on our team still get lost around those big resorts like Riverside, especially at night when you're already tired and disoriented after a full park day. So the fact that French Quarter is a little more compact and easier to navigate gets a huge thumbs up from us. French Quarter is also the place where you're going to find a variety of Mickey beignets. Scat Cats Club Lounge and Cafe offer up Mickey beignets, which I'll make a separate trip out to that resort to go pick up even if I'm not staying there. By the way, while the cafe portion of Scat Cats is open all day long, the lounge portion is only open in the evening, starting at 5 p.m. and staying open till midnight. But if you visit the lounge on a weekend, Friday through Sunday, more than likely you're going to see and hear live jazz band performances, which makes those Mickey beignets taste that much sweeter. Last year, Disney updated the rooms inside buildings 1 and 2 of French Quarter, and they're updating more of those buildings this year to give them a much needed paint job and furniture update. So now when you stay in one of the standard rooms here, you'll be able to stay in a room featuring ornate patterns over the bed, pops of color on the pillows, nods to Princess and the Frog in the artwork, subtle Mardi Gras representation, and more. The only problem is that these rooms aren't exactly in-your-face Disney, which is where Riverside comes in. Most of the rooms around Riverside are going to be subtly themed around Princess and the Frog. But if you book one of the royal guest rooms for about an extra $70 per night on top of the $350 to $430 you might normally pay for a standard room here, you're going to be able to stay in a room that merges Disney whimsy alongside Disney elegance, making it a great option for kids and honey solo travelers or anyone who's looking for a room where you'll have a magic lamp as a faucet and a headboard with LED fireworks shows, plus lots of other princess Easter eggs and details for you to find. One of the stricter rules when it comes to Disney World resorts is no pool hopping. So if you're staying as a guest at Art of Animation, you can't just hop on the Skyliner and go check out the pools at another resort. However, the rules bend slightly over at Port Orleans because even though Port Orleans is technically made up of two different resorts, guests at either one are able to access both of the main pools plus all of the quiet pools over at Riverside. So if you want to go slide on the back of a sea serpent over at French Quarter's Doubloon Lagoon, have at it. And then later on, if you want to check out Riverside's Old Man Island, go right ahead. Okay, I think I made my point loud and clear. The Port Orleans resorts continue to provide fun Disney theming without stripping away their more elegant features. And because it's a moderate resort, you're not going to pay as much for the variety of amenities here as you would at, say, one of the nearby deluxe resorts. The beignets, the riverboats, the live entertainment. By the way, there's also a table service restaurant here, and there are even carriages that will give you carriage rides. So it's hard to resist the pull of Port Orleans while you're here, which is why first-time guests, as well as the seasoned Disney pros, pretty much fall head over heels for these. Okay, newcomer tip number 2, check into your room virtually. Online check-in opens up on the My Disney Experience app and on the Disney World website 60 days before your arrival. But why should you be eager to check into your resort early versus waiting and checking in once you arrive? Well, 2 reasons. A, you can skip over waiting in line for the front desk when you get there and instead just head up to your room once it's ready for you. And B, this is when you can put in any room request you might have to improve your chances of getting a certain room type. Now, just so we're clear here, when you're booking your hotel room, you can make a few requests at that time too, like asking for 2 connecting rooms or a crib for a baby. But when you're checking into your room virtually, you'll be given a limited option of requests from a drop-down list as well. And these requests are dependent on the hotel you're staying in. So for example, you might have the option of requesting a room near an elevator or a room on the ground floor or a room located in a certain building. While these rooms aren't 100% guaranteed, even when requested, Disney will do their best to try to accommodate you. But this is also a reason you might want to try to do early check-in early. Like, don't check in the day you get to your hotel or don't check in the day you're flying to Disney World. Check in like 30 days before so that they can do their best to put you in a room that fills the requests you have. Online check-in is also great because it'll let you know when your room is all ready for you by sending your real-time updates straight to your phone. Typically, check-in time for the Disney hotels starts at 3 p.m., while check-in time for the deluxe villas starts at 4 p.m. But that doesn't necessarily mean your room will be ready for you right at 3 or 4 p.m. on the dot. That's why having your phone's push notifications turned on can come in very handy. Number 3, Boardwalk Inn. It's about time we added a deluxe resort to this list, right? Boardwalk Inn might be modeled after the turn of the century, but it's looking bright and new and more updated than ever thanks to all its latest renovations. Just over the past few years, Boardwalk Inn has updated their lobby and guest rooms, added the Carousel coffee shop, renovated a grab-and-go Boardwalk Deli, and just last year, we got to say hello to the ever-eclectic Blue Ribbon Corn Dog Kiosk, which is known for its innovative corn dog creations, like the pickle corn dog and the Mexican street dog, and there's a giant mozzarella stick to get. There's also the Cake Bake Shop, which is a bakery / restaurant / tea room and champagne bar all in one. You can easily spend a full day just exploring the Boardwalk Inn and never stepping foot into one of the parks. And that's not just because of the new stuff. It's also because Boardwalk Inn has the Atlantic Dance Hall, a nighttime attraction for guests 21 and over, the Abracadabra, a magician-themed lounge, the Luna Park pool with its Keister Coaster water slide, and several additional activities and amenities like Surrey bike rentals and fishing, tennis, and pickleball courts, you name it. The Boardwalk Inn also loops around to the Yacht and Beach Club Resort, so you'll have access to their numerous shops and restaurants and sandy beach sides. And when you're staying at the Boardwalk Inn, you're literally in Epcot's backyard. Steps away from the resort is the International Gateway, which is the back door of Epcot. So you don't have to take any sort of transportation to get over to this park. All you got to do is put one foot in front of the other. Because Epcot is so close to Boardwalk Inn, that means that the Epcot Skyliner Skyliner station is also going to be right next to you, making a quick trip to one of the other Skyliner resorts or Hollywood Studios a breeze. But if you don't want to take the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios for whatever reason, you can always take a friendship boat over to the park instead. And you can also take a friendship boat over to Epcot too, just in case you don't want to walk it. Yep, there's a lot to love about Boardwalk Inn, and while I'm not going to say kids won't love it here, I definitely think this is a resort aimed maybe more towards the grown-ups in terms of its decor. But much like any of the deluxe Disney resorts, you will have to save up for this one. Room prices here start at $700 per night, but can get as high as $1,500 depending on the room type. Number 4 on our list is Pop Century. We're back at the value resorts again because really when you're trying to plan your first ever Disney World hotel stay, knowing that there are more affordable options out there can make a world of difference. Pop Century Resort has a lot of similar perks to what you'll find at Art of Animation. Not only do the two resorts share a Skyliner station, but Pop is another value hotel that's decked out in lots of bright colors and oversized props and Disney whimsy galore. But because Pop Century is more of a blast from the past sort of resort, some of the characters or props or ancient relics that you'll find displayed in the shadow boxes around the lobby might make your kids be like, "What's that?" when they point out a picture of the Jetsons. And that might make you feel really old. But I digress. Is there any real reason first-time guests would want to choose Pop Century over Art of Animation? A few reasons, actually. Pop is going to be your most affordable hotel stay along the Skyliner route, even more affordable than booking a standard room at Art of Animation. On average, a standard room at Pop will cost you around $220 to $280 per night. And what makes these standard rooms more appealing than those standard Little Mermaid rooms over at Art of Animation is that these Pop Century rooms were renovated and now include these beds that fold up into the walls to make more space when you're not using them. Note, Pop Century's rooms will start undergoing another round of refurbs, again starting up toward the end of March 2025 and lasting until mid-February 2026. While you'll still more than likely be able to book a room here just fine, with construction and all, there's always the possibility that your room might be close to where these updates will be taking place, meaning you might hear the construction during the daytime hours, but not at night. Shouldn't be a huge issue overall, but might be more of an issue if you're traveling with little ones who need their afternoon naps. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to booking a room at Pop Century versus one at Art of Animation is that Pop doesn't have any family suites available. All you've got to choose from are those standard, smaller rooms. But like I mentioned before, sometimes that's all you really need if you're planning on spending most of your time in the parks and away from your hotel anyways. It's a great choice if that's the situation. Much like Art of Animation, you're only going to find food court dining at Everything Pop, but you can always take the Skyliner somewhere else to expand your food horizons. That being said, Everything Pop was also recently renovated, so the food court looks all nice and sleek and freshened up. And even if you're not too keen on food court dining, I'd still recommend paying a visit here just to pick up the exclusive Pop Century tie-dye cheesecake alone. I love it. It's one of my favorite snacks that I've had at Disney World, and I don't know, I'm a little nostalgic about it. Pop Century certainly won't be the right choice for everyone. It's not romantic or extremely quiet. It's definitely not the best option if you're traveling with a group of 5+ members. However, this hotel is just plain fun. The decorations are fun, the colorful characters and icons around the pools are fun, the nostalgia factor for adults is fun, and rainbow tie-dye cheesecake is super fun. Plus, if the Skyliner is a huge selling point for your group, which honestly it should be, this is going to be the cheapest way to access it daily from your hotel. Newcomer tip number 4 coming at ya. Book the lightning lanes early. If you truly are new to the Disney scene, then you're going to want to study up on Disney's multi-pass, single pass, and premier pass services. These are skip the ride line services. Now, this is a hotel video, so I'm not going to take a huge detour to get into all the ins and outs of these premium services today, but I do want you to know how they're impacted by your Disney hotel stay. If you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, you can purchase multi-pass, single pass, and premier pass services up to 7 days in advance of your hotel check-in day. And with multi-pass specifically, you'll be able to make 3 advanced lightning lane selections, aka the shorter ride lines that bypass the main really long ride lines, per park purchase, covering your entire stay, which goes up to 14 days out. So, if I purchased multi-pass for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, I can make 3 lightning lane selections ahead of time for each of those parks, on the days I'm going to them. Meanwhile, all other guests who'll be staying off Disney property will be able to purchase and select their first 3 lightning lane multi-passes 3 days in advance. This means those who are staying on site will get the cream of the crop when it comes to lightning lane selections. If you want to learn more about lightning lanes, we've got a full playlist on our YouTube channel that you can check out after this, which will hopefully take you from being a lightning lane grasshopper to a master in no time. I think it will. Number 5 on our list is Wilderness Lodge. I adore Wilderness Lodge. It reminds me of the last Disney World trip I took with my mom. It's her favorite hotel. It was my dad's favorite hotel before he passed away a couple years ago. Honestly, I could just sit in that lobby all day long. It's just gorgeous, but if you do have the chance to kind of explore a little bit, there's a lot to see and find. So Wilderness Lodge is a deluxe resort that's super close to Magic Kingdom, themed around the rustic beauty of the Pacific Northwest and inspired by classic lodges of America's national parks with turn-of-the-century influences. From the hot spring bubbling in the lobby to the fire rock geyser outside that actually erupts multiple times throughout the day, every hour on the hour, to the several crackling fireplaces and totem poles and rocking chairs and woodwork everywhere. This place immerses you in the real outdoors, whether you're hanging around outside or inside the resort. There's no escaping nature when you're here, y'all. It is abundant. It's also going to be the more affordable deluxe resort option with a proximity that close to Magic Kingdom, with standard room prices starting at around $650 per night. It's also going to be the quietest resort on Magic Kingdom grounds, since the 3 other Magic Kingdom deluxe resorts have the Disney monorail at their disposal, which creates a whole lot of extra foot traffic. Yeah, not having the monorail at Wilderness Lodge is kind of a bummer, since the monorail really is nifty to have steps away from your room. However, you'll still be able to take a boat over to Magic Kingdom from Wilderness Lodge, and it's a lovely ride, and you get to go over a very, very cool water bridge. And you can take a bus if you prefer that instead, and it's super fast. Wilderness Lodge also has some of the best Disney Resort restaurants. You've got options like Storybook Dining at Artist Point with Snow White. This is one of my favorite character meals in all of Disney World. Geyser Point Bar and Grill, which is absolutely picturesque if you're there for sunset. Territory Lounge, which is a super chill indoor bar and lounge. Roaring Fork, which is a quick service with surprisingly tasty sandwiches and barbecue, plus some fun desserts too. And Whispering Canyon Cafe. This is a place with all you care to enjoy skillet meals and zany servers to go along with it. And if anybody raised their eyebrows at me saying that Wilderness Lodge was a quiet resort, it's mostly because of this. Whispering Canyon Cafe can get a little bit loud. Now, as far as the rooms here are concerned, you've only got standard room options available unless you can book a room over at one of Wilderness Lodge's DVC buildings, Copper Creek or Boulder Ridge. But these standard rooms are more spacious than many standard Disney hotel rooms out there, and most will come with their own private balcony or patio so you can wake up each morning and walk outside to say hello to Mother Nature. Once again, the rooms at Wilderness Lodge were renovated not too long ago, and they've definitely got more of that upscale vibe with a dash of rusticness about them. So if your kids are on the hunt for more vibrant Disney character representation, they're not going to find that in these rooms a whole lot. However, you can still point out little Disney animal characters hiding out in the room details, which is very cute. Select room types also have fireworks views at an extra cost, meaning you could watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks each night from the comfort of your balcony. But just a little heads up, these rooms kind of face a parking lot and a garbage dumpster, so just don't look down, just look straight ahead and you'll see the castle and the fireworks. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. Some of them do. I was definitely in a fireworks room that had a giant dumpster right below the balcony. Now, I think Wilderness Lodge is the perfect fit for traveling with my mom because it was calm and it gave us some time to breathe after our full park days. And I think that's a great selling point for first-time guests too. Disney World can be super overstimulating, especially Magic Kingdom, which tends to be the busiest and have the most rides and attractions going on at all times. So having a hotel room that's never too far away from the park and gives you a chance to escape in the afternoon or avoid the end of the night masses that pile up around the bus stops and monorail station after the fireworks show wraps up could be your best escape route and best reset before hopping back into the theme park chaos again. We've made it to newcomer tip number 5. Use hotel benefits to get more time in the parks. Early theme park entry is available for all guests staying at Disney-owned hotels, allowing you to enter any of the Disney World parks on any day 30 minutes before they open to the general public. That gives you the ultimate head start to your Disney park visit. Pretty awesome, right? Meanwhile, extended evening hours are available for deluxe resort guests only, and these give you the chance to stay in select parks on certain evenings up to 2 hours longer than everyone else, which means way shorter lines to worry about at the end of the night. If you want to know which parks offer extended evening hours on what nights, check out Disney's hours and events calendar online. I always toggle the 5-day view instead of the day view so that it's easier to track down extended evening hours for the whole week of your visit. Number 6 on our list, the Swan and Dolphin. Dolphin. So I got a confession to make, first timers. These aren't actually Disney-owned hotels. The Swan and Dolphin are Marriott-owned hotels that partner with Disney to give you many of those similar theme park perks that you'd also receive along with a Disney-owned resort stay. And they're right in the middle of Walt Disney World, like within walking distance of Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Some of the benefits you get here include all those perks I mentioned before: early theme park entry and deluxe resort exclusive extended evening hours, free transportation to and from the parks, the 7-day Lightning Lane booking window versus the 3-day one. And like I said, the Swan and Dolphin and the Swan Reserve, their sister hotel, are all situated within walking distance to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, right on Walt Disney World property. It's very easy to get to the Skyliner, very easy to get to the boardwalk. Now granted, you're still going to be walking like 15 minutes probably to reach these parks, but if the complimentary shuttle service isn't something you want to wait on, this can be a solid plan. So why would you choose Swan and Dolphin instead of one of the Disney-owned resorts for your first ever Disney trip? I got 3 key reasons for you. First, Swan and Dolphin not only has very nice standard rooms available, but it also has great spacious suites that you can book as well. Some with dining rooms, some with separate bedrooms, some with multiple bathrooms, some with incredible views of Epcot right outside your window. 2, the restaurants here should not be slept on. They are unbelievable. And 3, the biggest selling point for many, you can use your past Marriott Bonvoy points to help pay for your future Swan and Dolphin stay. And you can get Marriott Bonvoy points when you stay there. So even if this is your first time going to Disney, if you've taken trips to other places and have racked up points with your free Marriott Bonvoy membership by staying at other Marriott resorts, then you can use these to pay for your room. So Swan and Dolphin is definitely our wild card on today's list, but it's a solid option for those who maybe do want to pull themselves out of all the Disney-ness for a bit and stay at a place that's so sophisticated and food-driven and possibly more affordable, especially if you're part of the Marriott loyalty program. Newcomer tip number 6, find the discounts. So whether you're planning on staying at a deluxe, moderate, or value resort, Disney frequently highlights hotel discounts over on their special offers page. I know I've been saying some pretty high price tags throughout this video. This is how we get our hotels to be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars less than what's listed on the rack rate. By the way, when I say they have frequent discounts, I mean all the time. There's literally not ever not a discount. Does that make sense? You'll always find discounts. More often than not, there's going to be some sort of 10, 15, 20% off promotion going on, maybe 25, maybe 30%, sometimes even 40% off your hotel stay. Just make sure you read the fine print before you rely too heavily on a certain savings opportunity, since not every Disney hotel room will be eligible for it. Number 7, Polynesian Village Resort. I must say, this is more than likely going to be our priciest hotel on today's list, which might not make you too ecstatic to hear as a first-time guest, but that being said, if you're trying to choose one of the 3 monorail resorts in the Magic Kingdom area for your first ever visit, most of the DFB team is going to lean toward Polynesian Village Resort, at least according to my survey earlier today. Polynesian Village is your go big or go home hotel stay, really. And even though you can walk to Magic Kingdom from this resort, it also feels like you've been transported to some tropical, magical getaway while you're here. From the moment you arrive, you're not just in Disney World, you're on an island. Cast members greet you with floral leis at the front door, the lobby swells with steel drums and ukulele music, tropical greenery and tiki heads decorate the space, and if you keep on walking over to Island Tower, you'll discover Disney's newest Disney Vacation Club building, featuring a new pool bar, Moana-themed splash pad, so many fresh, brand new rooms with clear views of the theme park. It's impressive stuff. But let's head back over to the main ceremonial house. Once again, we're at a resort that's got no shortage of restaurants, but the added bonus of dining in Polynesian Village is that many of these restaurants are transportive and immersive. I mean, where else on Disney property are you going to be able to order a cocktail that angers a tiki god like you can at Trader Sam's Grotto? And if you're looking for all you care to enjoy Hawaiian-style dining, then Ohana is the restaurant you'll definitely want to prioritize when making advanced dining reservations, which you can start doing once you're 60 days out from your vacation. You can even meet Lilo and Stitch, Mickey, and Pluto in the morning if you book a character breakfast at Ohana instead. And are you really on vacation if you're not drinking a fruity cocktail out of a pineapple like you can at Tambu Lounge? That was always my first stop when I was going to Disney World before I started DFB. I would go to Tambu Lounge on my very first night and I would get a Lapu Lapu and a giant pineapple and just sit back and realize that I was on vacation. Now, was I staying at Polynesian? No, I was probably staying at a Days Inn, but I still went to Polynesian first because that just said vacation to me. Anyway, the food and drinks at Polynesian Village aren't just good, they are fantastic. A lot of folks are going to flood that hotel, even if they're not staying there, to go to the restaurants. Now, speaking of experiences, Polynesian Village has lots of additional activities and recreational opportunities you can fill your day with too, if you need a break away from the parks. Some of these experiences will cost you extra, like renting a boat over at the marina or going on a fishing excursion, but some of it is absolutely free or included with your hotel stay, like sliding down the volcano water slide at the lava pool or just lounging on a hammock near the beachside and watching the Magic Kingdom fireworks go off. The resort will even pipe in the show's music for you, so it's like you're really there, except you're not. You're totally chilling, and there's not like a huge crowd just like on top of you. But I'm not here to just glaze over one of the biggest Polynesian Village hotel perks, the monorail. The monorail is going to take you straight to the Magic Kingdom front gates, and after a quick transfer when you arrive at the Transportation and Ticket Center, it'll also take you the rest of the way to Epcot too. You can also jump on board the monorail to visit the other two resorts on the line, Grand Floridian and Contemporary, to check out their restaurants, their shops, their activities too. The Polynesian Village is hustling and bustling with guests and excited energy constantly. It also costs a pretty penny, whether you want to stay in a standard Moana-themed room or over on one of the new DVC suites, and especially if you want to stay in one of the few Bora Bora bungalows. But even if you don't stay at Polynesian Village during your first Disney trip, I'd still say it's worth stopping by just to look. Newcomer tip number 7, learn all about the resort restaurants. So I was just talking about definitely going to the Polynesian to maybe have a bite or have a look, right? You can go to any hotel you want to, even if you're not staying there. You're completely allowed, and Disney kind of wants you to be there so that you might choose to stay there next time. And some of my favorite restaurants in all of Walt Disney World are at the hotels. So if you want to learn more about each Disney hotel restaurant, as well as all the other restaurants in Disney World property, be sure to check out our full DFB guide to Walt Disney World dining. It's over on our dfbstore.com website, along with all of our t-shirts and our other guides. And with a guide purchase, you'll have complete access to all of our most recent restaurant reviews, updated food pictures, recommendations, even some extra fun activities to make your days tasting around Disney extra special. And just because we're so glad you're hanging out with us today and every day, we got a code that you can use before you check out to help save you money. Number 8, Coronado Springs. Okay, this is an interesting one. All of you who have been to Disney World are probably going, what? Why? Why do you want them to go to Coronado Springs? Okay, just hang with me for a second. Disney's Coronado Springs is the Disney moderate resort to choose if you're wanting a hotel stay that's on a deluxe resort level, minus the deluxe resort prices. But only if you're planning on booking a room at Coronado's Gran Destino Tower. Let me back that up real quick. The rooms at Coronado Springs might be spread out, like super spread out, since this is one of those giant hotels with like 1 million buildings, and it's, it'll take you a good amount of time to get around the whole thing. But you can pare those rooms down into 2 different categories. Category number 1 are the basic Coronado Springs rooms located in the Casita, Rancho, and Cabana buildings. These have more of a motel layout where the room doors lead to an outdoor hallway. And category number 2 are the Gran Destino Tower rooms, which are newer, more high-end. They've got doors that lead to an indoor hallway. And you can even book a club-level room at Gran Destino Tower. This will give you exclusive access to a personal concierge and exclusive access to the Kronos Club, which is open to all club-level guests only and serves complimentary snacks and refreshments throughout the day. Plus, you can see some fireworks from it at night. Typically, club-level rooms are available at deluxe resorts only, so Gran Destino definitely breaks the mold by offering the most affordable club-level rooms across property. That being said, club-level rooms still aren't cheap here. While your average Coronado Springs room typically starts at $350 per night, club-level Gran Destino rooms start at $800 per night. And what makes that price tag a giant bummer is that you're still not going to receive the deluxe resort extended evening hours benefit for that massive cost. So you might feel more inclined to go the deluxe route if you're planning on spending that amount of money on a room somewhere. But no matter which room type you choose at Coronado Springs, you're still going to be staying at a resort with tons of restaurants, a really cool Mayan pyramid-themed feature pool, plus a bunch of other pools, a gigantic hot tub, and extra activities you won't find featured at the other resorts, like a premium Sangria University class where you can learn how to make the sangria that's served at Coronado's Three Bridges Bar and Grill. This is also the only moderate resort that has fitness centers. Newcomer tip number 8, check out a water park for free. If you're staying at a Disney World hotel in 2025, and I'm talking any Disney hotel, then you'll receive free tickets to one of Disney World's 2 water parks to use on your check-in day. Yep, free, $0, 0 cents. But the catch is you can only use that free water park perk on your check-in day. Even though your room won't be ready until later on in the afternoon, you can still drop off your luggage with your resort's bell services once you arrive. Then you can head straight to the water parks to get as much time in the lazy river or wave pool as possible. Number 9 on our list, any of the All-Star resorts. So they may not be the most bougie, but Disney's All-Star resorts are going to be your most affordable option if you want to stay on Disney property during your vacation. There are 3 different All-Star hotels you can choose from, depending on your and your family's personal interests: music, movies, and sports. For the most part, all you're going to find at these resorts are your very basic standard room setups that can sleep up to 4 guests. However, All-Star Music also has family suites, which is why out of the 3 All-Star locations, I absolutely think All-Star Music is the best. These family suites give you just as much space to spread out as the family suites you'll find at Art of Animation, and while they might not be as themed as the Art of Animation rooms, they're definitely a whole lot cheaper. Like, depending on when you visit, the price for a basic room at Coronado Springs versus a whole family suite at All-Star Music might be about the same price, just to put it in perspective. And while the All-Star Music suites don't have a full-size kitchen, they do have a full-size fridge, which is more than what Art of Animation is going to give you in their family suites. Those only have your basic mini fridges in the room, so that's another point for Team All-Star Music. Despite the All-Star hotels being your cheapest hotels on property, meaning you'll have fewer high-end resort amenities at your disposal, that doesn't mean you're going to be stripped of all your Disney hotel perks. You'll get that early theme park entry benefit, free bus transportation, food court offerings, colorful immersive theming, lightning lane pre-selection 7 days before check-in, the free water park perk, and themed pools and daily activities to check out. Oh, and as an added perk that most other Disney hotels don't get, you can totally pool hop between the All-Star resorts if you're staying as a guest at one of them. Pretty sweet deal, especially if your kids absolutely love hotel pool days more than anything. You can go to a different one every day. The All-Star resorts can be a lifesaver for first-time guests who are feeling intimidated by Disney's hotel prices but still want to stay on property. Or honestly, even the veteran Disney guests who still feel intimidated by Disney hotel prices after all this time. Yeah, that's like me. And if you're able to find a good promotion on Disney's special offers page, you could easily pay under $200 each night for a standard room at any of these All-Star resorts. Newcomer tip number 9, ask for help. Planning a trip to Disney World for the first time is overwhelming, hands down, but you never have to do it alone. There are free and super reliable travel agents out there who'd be more than happy to make sure you're matched with the right Disney hotel that fits your budget, your style, your daily itinerary. Plus, they can track down all those savings opportunities for you too, and make sure the best one is always applied to your future stay. Because guess what? Sometimes Disney comes out with discounts after you've already booked your hotel. What do you do then? Well, your travel agent will go through and apply the discount to your stay. You don't even have to lift a finger. Now, our friends over at Small World Vacations have done this for us time and again, so we have nothing but the best to say about them. And if you want to reach out to the Small World Vacations agents for your first ever trip, or even a repeat trip that you don't want to stress over, I'll put their info down in the description below. Number 10 is Animal Kingdom Lodge. There is no way I'm doing a best of hotel video without AKL in it. If you were to ask me which Disney resort is my favorite, that would be very hard for me to pinpoint, but I think on most days I'd be most inclined to say Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. This deluxe level resort is the only Disney hotel where you're going to find a full savanna with over 30 different species of African wildlife, the Starlight Safari, which is a separately priced tour that takes you out into that savanna once the sun sets and provides you with your own pair of night vision goggles to see what those animals are up to at night. Lots of African crafts and tours, hotel rooms with savanna views, maybe even partial savanna views if you select a standard room option, and hotel restaurants that specialize in African cuisine. And I'm telling you, these are probably my favorite restaurants anywhere. There's not a single restaurant at Animal Kingdom Lodge that I don't want to go to every single night. So while I would recommend this hotel to anyone in a heartbeat, if you're a first-time guest, I do need to warn you about this resort's transportation downfalls. It's its biggest Achilles heel. This is the only deluxe level resort that strictly uses buses to get around. You don't have any walking paths or monorails or boats or skyliners. So you are paying a deluxe hotel price, but you'll have less of that theme park proximity convenience that other deluxe resorts tend to have. That being said, this resort is fairly close to Disney's Animal Kingdom, no shock there. So if you're planning on spending more time at that park, then your travel time shouldn't be problematic. Just as a general reminder, for whatever resort you choose, look and see where it's located inside the Disney bubble before you book it. That way, you'll know where it's situated in the midst of everything else available on property. Now I've just sat here for about 5 minutes, not recording and thinking about walking into the Animal Kingdom Lodge and how amazing and grand it is. And now I want to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge. So thanks, Bria. Anyway, new friends and old friends too, what other questions do you have about future Disney hotel stays that we can help you with? And what are your niggling little questions that you're like, oh, nobody will ever answer that? Go ahead and put it in the comments. We got great people who watch these videos. They are very knowledgeable. They're going to come in and they're going to answer your question. We're going to come in and answer your question. Just put it in there and someone will come in and answer your question. Everybody loves talking about Disney hotels. And Brie is always down there minding the comments to come up with other questions that people have to put in our future videos. So we are so grateful when you drop your comments, your questions, your thoughts, because it always gives us new ideas for things we can talk about next here on DFB Guide. And don't forget to download our free Disney World Hotel Guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/hotels. So thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.